Okay, hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk about taking a battery that isn't the stock battery for a jet ski or whatever it might be. I'll just use my jet skis as example and some history. I bought these are probably the 10th and 11th new jet ski I purchased in the last 7 years. I bought these in 2013, one Kawasaki and one Yamaha, and 13 months later Yamaha, the battery was shot and it just wouldn't take a charge. I could get about 90% in it. So anyways, I went to buy a new battery for the Yamaha, and here in Asia it was about $200 in that range, 200 US dollars for a battery, for about a 20 amp hour battery and a fairly small battery in size as well. So I said to the distributor, is there another option? And they said, yeah, you can use a sealed battery that's the same amp hours, but it doesn't quite fit. So you'll have to modify it. And what's the price on that? And they told me about $40. I said, I'll take that. Anyways, it's been in the ski 2 years, and it takes a full charge, and it works great. So anyways, today I'm going to talk about how to make a non-stock or non-OEM battery fit. It doesn't have to be a jet ski, it could be anything. A tractor, a boat, whatever it is. So this battery has lasted 2 years. The original battery with the Yamaha lasted about 13 months. It was shot. It just wouldn't take a charge. This cost me $40. The OEM battery or the Yamaha battery was a few $100 US, and no guarantee it would last any longer. So this has lasted very well. It's the brand, I don't know, it's in Asia, Hypo, whatever that is. It's 21 amp hours. I think it's actually an amp hour more than the original. It works great, but it wouldn't fit. The length was the same, but the height wasn't quite the same. So what I did, and obviously what I've done, show you, is I found a piece of wood, a piece of hardwood. I painted it. I did all my measurements, and the whole process took me an hour because I had to find the wood that would fit. I sanded the side of the battery. I cleaned it with some alcohol. I sanded the wood, the unpainted side, with a bit of sandpaper. Cleaned it with some alcohol. I used some two-part epoxy. You can buy this anywhere. This is steel, but you can use it on plastic, rubber, all kinds of things, steel, you name it. You mix equal parts of the epoxy. So let's say you put a line this long of the blue. You put a line the same of the orange. What I mean by a line is you squeeze out a line of it, the same length of each, and a line of that. And you mix it together. They give you a little mixer spatula. I should have had that ready. There it is. We try, but sometimes we forget things. And you mix it like that together. What I do is I use some cardboard. I just put the epoxy on, equal amounts, mix it together for about 2 minutes, and then put it on the side of the battery. Lots of it on the wood. I actually laid the battery down like this. I stuck the wood on, and you see where the epoxies come out on the bottom and the top. And I let it set probably for 4 or 5 hours. It was pretty well rock hard. I think it takes about 18 hours for it to set 100%. But anyways, in 4 or 5 hours, it's fine. But I left it overnight. And just so you know, if you haven't worked with this epoxy before, it's pretty hard stuff. Okay, you can actually sand it. So anyways, that's what I did. You see the wood, so you can have a good look at it. So my length was fine, right? My length, but the width of it, of this non-stock battery, wasn't wide enough. So what I did is I just added the right amount of wood, epoxied it on. Now my width was fine. Now the height, it was about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8. So I glued some rubber on the bottom. With epoxy, again, I used the same kind of epoxy. I just put some rubber. Could have used some wood down there. I could have used some wood. Probably it was about 1/8 to a 1/16 in that range. It probably would have been fine, but there's some rubber straps that come over the top of the battery, and I wanted it really snug. And believe me, I throw that Yamaha into the corners, and this battery's never moved. So, yeah, have a second look at it. I found a piece of wood, epoxied it on, and it gave me the exact width that I needed. You see how that fits in there? And I put it in the ski, and it's gone for two years, trouble-free. And I've saved a lot of money, obviously. Now, there's different types of epoxy. I use this a lot. It's quite good. There's also this liquid. This is a great glue. This is two-part epoxy too. It's got this happens to be made in Germany. It's all in German, but they're all the same. You know, you take a tab out of here, and you cut the ends off with a snip, and then you just push it like a syringe. Equal amounts come out, and again, you mix it for a few minutes. And I could have used this as well. It would have worked fine. I use it more as a glue, like to glue a piece of rubber on or something like that, talking about epoxies. Anyways, there's also this type. This is epoxy putty. You could use it to attach the wood. It isn't a great glue. It will work. It probably would be okay. I wouldn't use it. It would be my last choice if I was in a desperation situation and I had to do something like that. I would use it. It does have some very good uses, but this isn't one of them. So, anyways, great way to save some money. Because I resent spending $200 for a tiny little battery. But let's go take it up to my Kawasaki. My friend down south purchased the same battery. He modified his the same way. He copied my idea, and it fits perfectly in his Kawasaki Ultra. So let's go over to the Ultra. And you can just see the size of the battery. There's quite a difference in size. You see, I'll put this down there. There, okay. So, if I can get this to stand up, I'm not sure if I can. I might have to put it over here. Okay. So anyways, when this battery goes in my Ultra, you see the width of it. I can probably use the same wood on this to fit it in here. I'll check the height of the Ultra battery. I've already modified this one for the Yamaha, but when the Ultra battery goes, and they are an excellent battery, by the way. I've heard of guys getting 5 or more years out of these batteries. I'll put in one of these. Save the money for fuel. I'll modify it with wood, just as I did, whichever way I have to do it. Check the measurements of this, the height, the width, the length. Whatever I got to modify, and I'll make one of these fit in there and save a bunch of money again. And anyways, that's today's tip, and hope that helps from Rod.